Welcome, welcome everyone. All these smiling faces. Let's see everyone here all at once. So welcome to the 2021 preview event of the EIPPY Awards. I'm going to be your co-host with Viki Winterton. I'm Victor Grant, and it's the Vic and Viki show. Viki, if you can unmute yourself and just say a little bit about these EIPPY Awards. I mean, my gosh, can you believe it's been so many years since the Magic Castle? That was my first EIPPY Award, and I was a presenter there, and I also had a chance to play the piano.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to the EIPPY Awards preview. I'm so excited that you could make it. We just wanted to give you, a little glimpse of what we'll be experiencing next Friday. And I wanted to tell everyone a little bit about the history of the EIPPY Awards if you haven't already experienced it or you've joined us over the last few years. The EIPPY Awards actually started 13 years ago because I was getting calls from our authors and entrepreneurs and coaches, and they said, you know, we would really like something meaningful that's going to be really an intimate kind of setting where it's not just going to be people on stage talking and then selling from the back of the room. So we thought, I hadn't put on an event in a while, and I thought, oh, that really wasn't on my calendar of things to do. But I was encouraged by so many people that we started doing that 13 years ago. And we've had the EIPPYs in some really exciting places. Four Seasons Hotel in Las Vegas, and the Balloon Awards in Albuquerque, at the Balloon Museum, watching the balloons come up at the break of dawn, and the Magic Castle, as Victor mentioned, he was at both the Magic Castle and the Balloon Awards. And then the last 3 years, we've had the awards in Mexico at a wonderful resort that a number of you have probably joined us and enjoyed. So I thought, yeah, I didn't want to wait until we were in a different time where people were comfortable or could actually travel to have the EIPPY Awards. So we decided to do it virtually. And I think we're going to knock your socks off. I certainly hope so. It's kind of hard to compete with live, but we're going to give it our best. And I'm so excited you're all here. And you met Victor. Victor and I have been partners in technology for over a decade. He's done all of our technology work, and he's here today to make sure things go smoothly, as well as being my co-host. And he's quite an entertaining guy. As a matter of fact, that was him on the piano that you heard coming in. He's really an incredible musician, multi-talented guy. And then I think you probably all have met or come in contact with Pam Murphy, and she has also been with us for over a decade, and she does a lot of things with the authors, but she's been instrumental in all of the EIPPY Awards for the last decade. So say hi, Pam.
Hi, everybody. So glad that you're here with us.
Terrific. So I thought what we would do today is just give you a little taste of what you'll be experiencing on Friday. So we have some people here that are definitely going to be sharing some wonderful wisdom and some exciting things with you on Friday, but we'll give you just a little taste of what that looks like today. So the first person that I'd love if you could go to reactions, Hal, and raise your hand, because I want to introduce Hal Price.
Hey, Hal.
Wonderful. For everyone,
hey, Victor.
For everyone who registered for the author showcase, a little package came to you, and it should have a paddle that has the EIPPY Awards on it, and congratulations, so we can all congratulate all the authors. And also it has a hardcover program, and the program is also located on everything EIPPY. So you all that have registered will be able to go in there and get prizes and all kinds of things. But I wanted to spend a few minutes with Hal because he's quite an interesting guy and so talented. He was a branding expert for Fortune 500 companies for years. He had his own branding company for race car drivers. And then he is now spending all of his time concentrating on especially wonderful children's books. He is also a poet as well as a professional photographer. So Hal, welcome, officially welcome.
It's great to officially be here.
Fantastic. Well, Hal, I was wondering if you could tell just a little bit, because you've had quite an amazing year and quite an amazing life, but especially the last year. Tell us a little bit about what getting your story out and the story that you had in your heart out to the world has done for your life. And then I'm going to see if someone in the audience might want to ask you a question as well.
Sure. What I learned the hard way, or the hard way, was I had been using my gift for my whole career to help other people, but never to help. I was helping other people make money off of my words, but I'd never really done my words to help other people follow their hearts and really listen to what their inner guidance is and follow their dreams and follow their passions. So I created Heroic Hearts Media back in 2014. You were a linchpin in helping me launch that with our Ready, Aim, Thrive, and what was the other first book? I'm trying to remember, where we had the balloon on the cover. I can't, the other balloon. Anyway, but it really opened me up to start writing words and thoughts and really following my heart and doing what I knew I was here to do. And that turned into a series of children's books. We've done 12 international book releases through your company, Viki, and I appreciate you and Pam so much for all that great work, guidance and support, and help me try to figure out how to get my books out to people. Your videos are phenomenal that you do to launch these things, and your launch pad is phenomenal. But it's really just opened me up to now be speaking at schools to teach kids how to write their own books. I'm meeting with 4 schools next week to teach kids how to write poems for National Poetry Month, tied around national, Earth Day, or Earth Day. And I'm going to a lot of schools. I'm meeting with a lot of administrators. I'm actually working with a divorce counseling group to help people find out how to write, to communicate with their kids through our books, which is through Eli's bedtime stories, which involves conversations between a parent and a child about things that matter. So it's teaching parents and kids to communicate more deeply and to speak from their hearts and let their feelings be seen and known. So I think I'm just having a blast. And I got married 2 months ago. Opening my heart opened me up to find the heart that matched mine. So Jody and I just celebrated. We've met each other a year ago yesterday and got married February the 21st this year. So that's been a delight for me. So a lot of magic, when you follow your dreams and your heart is leading you to those dreams, everything can happen.
That is so beautiful, Hal. So would anyone like to go to raise their hand and ask Hal a question?
We have a lot of people here from all over the world. I want to acknowledge some people who showed up. We have Melis 𝗿𝗶𝗰𝗵, I hope I pronounced your name right. She's from the South Pacific. And Veronica is here, Kaylin, and let's see, Madeline Blair. Okay, so the first question here.
Yeah.
So this is for you, Hal.
Sure.
How did you find out what your purpose was?
Well, first, I always knew what my gift was, but I never knew how to use my gift. I actually took a course back in 2013 called the Passion Test that Janet Bray Atwood and Chris Atwood did. And I went to a conference there and really started trying to figure out, what's my purpose? Well, I have a divine purpose that only me, I'm the only person on the planet that's going to bring this gift the way it's meant to bring. And taking the Passion Test helped me immensely. And then I met Marsha Weeder to go to her Wealthy Visionaries Conference. And that's where I met Viki for the first time back in 2014, I believe it was, Viki. And just a couple of things that I had some teachers that kind of pointed me in the right direction, and I did the work. You have to do the work. It's hard work. It's not hard work.
Yeah, it's more like of a shedding of your snakeskin.
Yeah, exactly. Very
You
good.
know?
And boy, people are tripping all over my stuff, so I'm glad I got rid of it.
It's about that vulnerability and the connection, you know, when
Yeah.
you look at the whole essence of this, it's really the practice and feeling comfortable.
Yes.
It's like I can relate it to piano playing.
Mm.
A lot of people say, Vic, you know, we love your music. From my perspective, I'm just a beginner when it comes to playing piano, right? But my heart is in the place. I had to actually unlearn years and years of reading music and piano playing before I could connect with my heart and just play with what I hear, you know?
Something else that really helped me, Vic, was I took a class that 𝗿𝗶𝗰𝗵 offered called Yes to Success back in 2013. But she taught me how to write from my heart and to listen for divine guidance. And I just asked myself a question every day. What do you need for me to know that I've forgotten? And I would just listen and do just automatic writing. And all of a sudden I would have 4 or 5 pages of guidance from my highest source, my inner child, you know, wherever it all comes from. And that really formed the foundation between the passion test and Wealthy Visionary, and then doing this Yes to Success, that inner child guidance, or that higher self guidance. And I would just follow what I forgot that I was supposed to remember.
That's beautiful. I do automatic writing myself. I learned it in my early 20s from
Nice.
My mentor, Sharon Huffman, who passed away recently. She was a great mentor, and she actually was the mentor for Ken Blanchard.
Oh,
Published
wow.
The 1 Minute Manager.
Yeah.
And it was actually because of her that I had an opportunity to spend 9 months in paradise on Maui, where I was living in this home that she created. And there was a grand piano there, and I could really cultivate my arts there. And Wayne Dyer came to my home, and his daughter, and we played a little piano concert. There's something Wayne said that really inspired me. He says, don't die with your song still inside of you.
Yes.
And that is like a message. I think it's a takeaway for everyone, that whether it's a song, whether it's your book, you know, don't cross over until you've actually shared that gift with the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Good guidance.
Yeah. Viki, back to you.
Wonderful. Well, I wanted to now introduce 𝗿𝗶𝗰𝗵. He is a fantastic writer. He wrote a wonderful memoir about his father, and carrying his father's ashes all over Europe, and it's just a wonderful book. But what is really unique about Devin and his wife Morgana is that they have had their goal is to have 100 weddings in 100 countries. And their 20th wedding was held at one of our EIPPY Awards. And it was truly a wonderful Mayan ceremony with unbelievable things. You'll be seeing some clips from that on Friday when we all meet. So Devin, are you unmuted by any chance?
I am. Good to see you, Viki, and good to see everybody else.
Hey, Devin.
Hey, Devin.
Yeah, I see some familiar faces. It's really great to see everybody. I'm so sorry we're not meeting in person.
I know, but it's going to still be good.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. I just, you know, I think like most everybody else, I think we're just waiting for, you know, human contact and all that kind of stuff. But yes, This is going to be fantastic.
So tell us a little bit about, I love the reasons that you give why, when you and Morgana married, you decided to want to give her 100 weddings in 100 countries. It's such a lovely story. Also about the lion.
Oh, yeah. So I'm not exactly sure where to start. Maybe I'll start with the lion. So Morgana and I were still dating, and I was very much kind of, you know, I was in debate mode, if I'm completely honest with you. There was no reason to debate. Morgana is a lovely woman. Many of you know her. And the only way I could talk to her when I was on an assignment in South Africa, quite literally 7 miles from the Botswanan boarder in a really amazing game preserve. And Morgana was leading her annual retreat in Bali. And the only way I could talk to her was to wake up at 3:45, have a guy come out and walk me to this little room where they had internet. And I could talk to her through really bad internet for 5 minutes. And so this one morning, this guy gets me, and he doesn't have a gun. That's, like, he literally came and got me because he's like, this is a game reserve, so there are wild animals. And so we are walking on this dirt path, and I heard a roar, but not like a roar like the MGM lion roar. I heard a roar like there's no walls or gates between me and the roar. It was utterly terrifying. And my first reaction, which apparently is pretty normal, was to run. And he grabbed me by the arm. He says, "Listen, man, you run, you are food. So we need to just stand here and suck it up." I'm paraphrasing, of course. I think he was much more diplomatic than that. And we slowly walked to this little room, and he's like, "I'm going to go investigate." And I'm thinking, you are insane. And then he left me alone in this room, and I'm certain that there's going to be a monkey who's going to open the door, and 9 hyenas are going to run inside and eat me. Anyway, Morgana and I had our morning conversation for 5 minutes. Then she, had to go do her retreat. And that's when it hit me. Here I was, willing to walk through sort of like the South African plains, so I can have a 5-minute conversation with this woman through terrible internet Skype session. And that was the moment. It was like, you know what? I'm the last one to know, but I absolutely love her. And so it was a really kind of big moment. And then, so in terms of the weddings, for those who don't know, I publish travel and have been writing travel articles for the last 18 years. So I've had the good fortune to travel extensively. And right after Morgana and I had gotten married, I got an assignment maybe 2 weeks later to cover a Marriott in Puerto Vallarta. And it's a beautiful hotel. I highly recommend it. It was great. And usually what they do when they kind of take you on press trips, usually wives and boyfriends and things like that are not invited. But they said, "Oh, you just got married. Why don't you bring your wife along?" So we had this great sort of honeymoon at this Marriott. And at some point, they bring you out to Puerto Vallarta to just have fun, just like have a great time, have lunch, go enjoy yourselves, and we'll see you in the afternoon. And so they drop us off in downtown Puerto Vallarta, which, for those who don't know, has an Our Lady of Guadalupe. It's a 150-year-old cathedral, and so we're walking past it, and it's absolutely an icon of Puerto Vallarta. And I said, as a total joke, "Why don't we go in there and get married again?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so charming and entertaining." And, anyway, Morgana, who was a great sport, was like, okay, she doesn't even know what I'm talking about. And there was another writer with us named Tamale, who's Tamale's Tips, and she has like 1 million followers on Twitter. And she goes, "I'm ordained." And I said, "Great, here's my ring. You're presiding." And so we marched to the front of this cathedral, and there were people, there were parishioners, they were praying. Fortunately, there was nobody in the pulpit, and we just kind of marched to the front, and Tamale started talking about her love for her husband and what it meant for her to be in this sort of cherished, sacred relationship. And while she was talking, and this whole time I'm thinking, oh, this is just a childish goof that I'm doing. And so Tamale, while she was talking, I was thinking, even if this is a goof, there was a few things that I should have said during the original vows that I didn't say then. I'm going to say them now. And so When it was my turn to give the vows again, I talked about what it was that I wanted her to have. And most of what I wanted her to have was the goals and visions that had nothing to do with me. It didn't matter what I thought, what my opinions were. I wanted her to go out and live and explore the nature and power of her being to the greatest extent. So at the end of time, she would look back and go, okay, this guy supported me through the trials and tribulations of life, because we all know that we're going to have some. And so I started talking about it, and I'm still thinking, oh, this is just a silly thing. I'm still thinking, oh, well, I know her a little bit more now, and now we've actually been married and all that good stuff. And, when I started talking about it, all of a sudden Morgana is gazing into my eyes, and she is crying, and Tamale is crying, and the parishioners have stopped praying and are on the edge of their seats in the pews. And literally an hour later, Morgana is vibrating. She is absolutely she's filled with whatever that is, whether it's the spirit or whether it's, the cosmic ooze or divineness or love. She's filled with that thing. And so probably within the next hour, I thought, we need to do this all the time. And that's exactly what we started doing. We started taking trips together, and every new country that we would go to, we would have a makeshift wedding. Sometimes they were grand because I'm in the travel industry. Viki, by the way, Viki blew it out the box. She made us a wedding that featured like Huachul Indians that were dancing into the four quarters, and I think there was like 7 different spirits of the marriage relationship, where we did chocolate for the bitters and the sweet, and it was really remarkable. I can't tell you enough. And on top of it, we had piñatas for the kids. We had a dancing horse with a charro, a traditional Mexican cowboy, and we had an 11-year-old lasso champion who was like the state champ of Colima, Mexico. And it was just utterly remarkable. But so not only do we get to have these unusual, wonderful experiences around the world, but more importantly, I think there's this idea, at least in my history, my parents were married 12 times between the two of them. That's a lot of marriages that did not work out. Ironically, my father got married 7 times and was only divorced like twice. Another story to be shared at a later point in time. And so what I had discovered by marrying my wife is that there's, I think there's this time that we get married and it's wonderful and we have this soul connection, and then we go about our daily lives for the rest of, our lives. And what I was finding is that every time we would reinvest in our weddings, we would have these moments where all of a sudden it wasn't, oh, I have to go to work, I'll see you later. It wasn't, oh, these terrible things happened. It's not, it's these moments where we keep recreating the reasons why we got married in the first place. And because of that, we haven't had separation from each other in that way. We haven't allowed life to kind of, because life has these little wedges that eventually take down the mountain. Not all of us, but some of us. They're genetically speaking, which I've already shared with you, I'm probably genetically bred to be a terrible romantic partner, like for sure. And so what ultimately has happened is that I keep reminding her that I'm in it for the long haul, that I'm here for the big picture. I'm here for our lives, for however we get to be walking on this planet together. And because of it, it gives her certainty and confidence, and I think a measure of happiness. And it's really cool. Like some of the weddings we've had, we got married by the mayor of Bled, Slovenia, in a 1,000-year-old castle, where I eventually had to carry her up the 100 steps of fortitude to ring the bell of wishes. By the way, I only got to 37 steps because I'm a middle-aged guy. But we got to do these incredible things. Matter of fact, we did, when we went to San Marino, which is a little dot of a country surrounded by Italy. We again got married in the castle, but we had a recreated Latin Vulgari wedding ritual where everybody dressed up in medieval clothes. And we did it in front of 150 Korean tourists, which just only added to this kind of wonderful flavor that we had. And they danced and they sang for us, all of these kind of wedding sort of things. And by the way, technically I own my wife because it was a 500-year-old ceremony. But I could trade her for a goat and 3 chickens, but that's an option for me. That said, they knighted me as a Cavaliere di San Marino at the end of the ceremony, and this was all done by the government. And it's been a lot of fun. And sometimes we get married by the woman who was the receptionist at the hotel, which we did that a couple of times in Bosnia and in Montenegro. And so the rituals themselves ultimately are free, the way we've done them anyway. So we get to do these recreations, and it's just been a very meaningful process for our relationship. Sorry, I'm long-winded.
That's so beautiful, Devin. And by all means, in closing, give us the name of your book, because I know people want it as entertaining as you are.
Oh, thank you. My book is called 10,000 Miles with My Dead Father's Ashes, or Mi Padre es Muerto en la Bolsa, for those who speak Spanish. And it's the story of my father's last request, where he was a liar, a thief, and a con man. And I spent the first 25 years of my life trying to be just like him. Nailed it. When I realized that his life plan was an utter failure and that I should not be doing what he did, according to his 7th wife, his last request was to return home to Cadiz, Spain. He was not Spanish. And then I managed to lose the ashes. So it is a lot of ridiculousness. And, I'm working on my next book, which is going to be called Reluctant, My First 11 Weddings. And it's kind of how I went from, no, I will marry no one ever, to, no, I'm going to marry you all over the world. So anyway.
Wonderful. Devin, thank you so much. That's such a heartwarming, wonderful, wonderful story. And it's the story of your lives, and we were a part of it. So I wanted to ask, I think that real quickly, Elvis Ranking is here. Elvis Ranking is like an amazing race car driver, and at a very young age. And I wanted to have him share with us a little bit about teamwork. Can you hold up your hand, Elvis? And that way we can unmute you. I wonder if maybe he's not here.
Yeah, he is.
He is. Okay. Elvis, if you,
there he is. He's on.
there he is. Wonderful. Elvis, when we talked last and we were getting ready for the EIPPY Awards, you were talking about just the most amazing attitude toward teamwork, because Elvis, how old are you again?
13.
He's 13. He's a race car driver, quite an accomplished race car driver with sponsors, big time sponsors in the whole 9 yards. So tell us a little bit about how you feel about teamwork, because I think it applies to everything that we do for everybody.
Yeah, well, for my sport, it's basically, there's a lot of people I felt like that don't really get acknowledged. Obviously it's like, in NFL, it's like, the quarterback's the main person. It's like, I've had people sum up as, well, you're the quarterback and we're kind of just the other people there just surround you and kind of, make you as good as you are. So I think the thing that I really wanted to touch on was, if it wasn't for those surrounding people around the quarterback or myself, that you would not be as good in life or in anything else.
That's so wonderful. Elvis, thank you so much for being here. And thank you for participating in our last anthology book, Creating Your Legacy. It's just really, really a wonderful situation to have you there writing the preface and we just thank you for all you do and the inspiration you give. I can't wait to see what you do with another 13 years.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to now do a drawing, and let me just.
All right, let's get some excitement going. We have a drawing coming up, and this is for what is called the video. It's a video.
Yeah, it's a video book trailer. And so it's going to be really, really exciting, because Hal had alluded earlier to the fact that we have videos that we do for our authors that win awards every single year. So this year we are going to be giving a video book trailer to someone here today. We're actually, when you register for the author showcase at mybookaward.com, if you haven't already registered, we will be giving away $20,000 worth of gifts and drawings next Friday at the actual EIPPY Awards. But today we're going to be giving away a video book trailer on all the distribution on it. So Pam, can you go ahead and do a drawing?
What's the value of that, Viki?
The value is $800.
Okay, wow, that's an $800 value, and Viki and her team will make a video for you. And after we run this first installment of the preview, I'll be giving away promotion. How can you get your video out there on YouTube? So you want to stick around to the very, very end of this broadcast. We have a lot of gifts to give away while Pam is drawing the lucky winner. Now, the people who win this are registered at mybookaward.com, and they are VIPs. So you want to make sure you pick up your VIP ticket. Free people who are just watching the stream or the replays will not be eligible for the drawing, just to be clear. So you want to contribute by going to mybookaward.com, get in on the VIP. That also gives you the private Zoom access where you can participate and share your story at the live event that's happening this Friday, the 23rd, starting at 9 a.m. Pacific time. And stick around right after this drawing. We're going to be running about a 30-minute preview of the awards that has been pre-recorded with the interviews from the top people. Then we're going to move into yet another series of giveaways for people who are still registering. And by the way, if you're watching this right now and you're not yet a VIP, go ahead and upgrade. The links will be right below this video. Back to you. And who is the winner, Viki?
It's Pam. Pam's picking the winner.
Well,
And she's got a hat, you know.
I did have it. Yes, I do have my, I have my EIPPY hat.
Yeah,
and the
we're also
winner
gonna talk about
is
rebranding. You have
Yes,
to-
really.
Yeah.
And the winner is Elvis Rankin.
Oh,
Elvis.
fantastic.
Yeah, congratulations, Elvis.
Well, I'm going to give you
right.
an extra bonus. I'm going to give you my full course, Tube Relevance, how to get your first 1 million views on YouTube, just as an extra gift for you as well.
Oh, that's great.
Wow, that's fantastic. And what a fantastic course that is. Okay, wonderful. So we have some more live people with us today that you won't want to miss. But first, we put together a little video. It's actually about 15-20 minutes, and it is going to just show you some of the amazing things that have happened at previous EIPPY Awards, also some entertainment, little segments of entertainment that you'll be looking forward to this coming Friday. And so Victor, take it away.
And so you were also in the film The Secret.
I think that everybody had a different idea of what The Secret was about, and we all got to individually share the secret behind the secret, left out of the secret kind of stuff's presentations.
Yeah, and what is that? Because you speak a lot about values. I actually have your book here about values. It's one of my favorite books of yours. That, you know, it feels like the secret only works if you're aligned with your highest values. And that was the secret that was left out of the secret.
Yeah. People have a set of priorities in their life, a set of values in their life, things that are most to least important in their life. Whenever they set goals and intentions that are aligned and congruent with what they value most, they are spontaneously inspired intrinsically to take action to fulfill them. But when they are doing something that they think they should do, ought to do, supposed to do, got to do, have to do, must do, from some injected value from some collective or individual authorities around them, and something that's lower on their value list, they will require extrinsic motivation to get them to do it and to sustain doing it. A reward if they do it, a punishment if they don't, in order to sustain it. So we maximize our potential when we live congruently and authentically to what we value most.
That. You know, I had the privilege of speaking this week at the very first International Middle East Conference for Women called ExecutiveWomen.com. And I have to say, it was a humbling experience to be there with presidents of nation states, directors of the UN. And you really understand the power of the word. You understand the power of publishing. You understand the power of voice. And it's in those environments where you see the suffering that's going on in the world outside of our little bubble. And so for me, you know, being able to have a voice in 2021 that really celebrates every human soul that contributes to our emotional brilliance and our well-being, our capacity for being truly fearless and living a stressless life is, to me, one of the most profound blessings I will ever have in this lifetime.
My name's Barb Wade, and I'm the coach's coach. And I'm so excited to be asking Michael Gerber a question that I'm just dying to know the answer to.
Oh,
and
boy, I hope I know the answer.
Go ahead. No, it's a really personal question. It's knowing what you know now, what do you wish you knew when you were starting out? What do you wish you might have done differently? Knowing what you know now about the trajectory that you're on, what do you wish you knew as you were starting as a trainer, as a coach, as a person with a mission to change people's lives?
Actually, nothing. It's not because I needed to know more. It's because the process that I went through was so essential to what I've learned.
Oh.
So if I had started out knowing what I've learned, it might have taken shorter, but I would have had to spend all those years beforehand learning it.
Right.
So the process of it has been the product of it.
Right, certainly.
You get that?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have been a life and business coach for over 26 years. a mentor coach to many of the big name, multi-7-figure coaches in my industry. And my specialty developed into relationship with money as a response to my own spectacular failure, where I had all these clients, movie star clients, producer clients, and I was so bad at making money, and nobody else's program, because I was this, really good student, nobody else's approach worked for me, which was really, really painful. And I accidentally, with the help of my own coach in 2003, stumbled upon this approach to personifying money, which clicked everything into place. And within 24 hours, I booked 4 clients at double what I'd ever charged before, and it just kept coming and coming, and thousands of clients, and my international bestseller, Financial Alchemy, 12 Months of Magic and Manifestation, and speaking around the world and all that stuff, and millions of dollars later, here I am designing my whole life around marrying the man of my dreams 100 times in 100 countries, because my truest definition of wealth is the financial freedom to put all of your focus on love and lifestyle and legacy.
So I entitled this one, You Are the Dream and the Dreamer. There's a time and place for everything. My heart tells me it's true. There's a dream inside each living soul, an idea inspired through you. There's a dream the world needs desperately. It can touch brave hearts and minds. It was seeded when you first were born. It birthed you in perfect time. You're the gift the world has waited for. You're the spark that lights the flame. Your heart will feel this bright idea when your big dream calls your name. You were placed here for this special dream. Life's great needs inspired each clue. And you're humbled when you realize that your magic dream dreamed you.
They won't forget what I did for love, what I did for love. I have been studying disasters, first as an economist and then also as a sociologist for, gee whiz, about 30 years at least. I live in Southern California, and we, when I first got into it, we're talking about landslides and earthquakes and wildfires. And little did I know that my career would be expanded into the O.J. Simpson case and John Benet Ramsey. I worked on that. And then the World Trade Center, the Flight 93 crash sites. And then the biggest environmental case in world history was the nuclear tests on the Bikini Atoll in the Marshall Islands. And as I got these, as my career evolved and I these bigger, internationally known cases came along, and there's dozens or probably actually hundreds of other cases, I started, Viki, I started realizing that the people behind the statistics were more interesting than the work I was doing as an economist. So I went back to school and I got a PhD in sociology. And I started realizing that, hey, I've been really given a gift of this unique access to these sites around the country and around the world and meeting the people behind the headlines. And they're telling me some remarkable things. I was soaking it in like a sponge. And I was amazed with the wisdom that they had, given that they had been through such, horrific challenges. And so I started working on this book, Post-Traumatic Thriving. I started working on it over 10 years ago, and it just came out. I've had innumerable, I just had one today, television interviews and podcasts and radio interviews. I seem to have hit a nerve, and the book is, the book is full of wisdom, but I can't take credit for it. I learned these things from the people I've been talking to and often becoming friends with them over the decades. And I've just loved this experience because these people have provided kind of a roadmap to healing. Trauma statistically is going to hit 66 to 85% of everyone who's college age. And now with COVID, and I got COVID in January, and I think there's an argument everybody's been traumatized at this point, but even without COVID, the majority of people have experienced some kind of trauma, but we're never taught in school how to handle trauma, how to process it, how to heal from it. And this is what the book hopes to do, is not only heal from the trauma, but tap into the energy behind the trauma, because trauma is, produces a lot of energy. So how do we tap into that energy and use it productively to do something remarkable that we otherwise might not have ever done?
Blessed we are to dance on this ground with the rhythm of saints, to carry the sound, feel the prayer for all life, for the days yet to come. May you walk in beauty and remember your song.
Yeah, well, hopefully I put the fun back in profundity. And what I do out in the world is I run a visibility hub. I help people to write a page turner book, finally finish their book. And then I've also got the piece of visibility, which is where I teach people how to be interviewed on radio and podcasts, the entire system, and then how to get results. Because I think it's very important, if you're going to take your own time and energy in order to be interviewed or featured, that you get something in return.
You're only human like me. You're lonely sometimes like me. You're longing for love like me. You're just like me. I understand. You're just like me. Namaste.
And now I'm so excited to introduce, for those of you who haven't met him yet, have that great pleasure, Keith Leon S. And he is known as the book guy, and for good reason. He's an award-winning publisher, best-selling author of many books, and the latest books, and we were thrilled to be able to participate a little bit in the process of these books, is Navigating the Clickety-Clack. So he's going to tell us about that, because I said, what in the world is a clickety-clack? So Keith, welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think before we talk about what the clickety-clack is, it's a good idea to start with, where did that come from?
Yes.
You know, the phrase, the clickety-clack. And ultimately I was on tour with my angel book called Walking with My Angels. I did a full tour. I was going all over the country. Things were going well. And then poof, the pandemic happened and all events stopped. And so I was really in a mourning period, because that was me living my life purpose, and I was having so much fun connecting with people and teaching them how to contact their angels, and then all of a sudden it stopped. So I took that time to mourn, and then I found myself in the question, well, if I'm not doing my life purpose work, right, teaching people how to contact their angels, well, then what am I supposed to do? And I've learned that the quality of my question produces quality answers. And so I sat in that question, if I'm not doing that, what am I supposed to do now? And what I saw was one of my mentors from when I first started my business. His name was Fletch Rainey. And whenever my wife and I would call him with that, entrepreneur, first-time business owner freak out, he would say, relax, you're in the clickety-clack. Oh, just relax, you're in the clickety-clack. And finally, we were like, what is the clickety-clack you keep talking about? And he said, well, and I'll read it straight from the back of the book. Remember when you had a 10-speed bicycle and you changed from one gear to another? Well, there's that moment when the chain is jumping from one gear to the next, but it hasn't clicked in yet. What does it sound? What's the sound that it makes? Clickety-clack, right? But you have faith that it will catch eventually, so you keep pedaling. You have faith and keep pedaling. Eventually, it does click into gear, and when it does, you're off into a whole new gear, and it's even better than the one before.
Well, the most important tip, I think, is that if you feel that calling inside of you to write your book, it means that there are people out there who need to receive that book. Like, you would not be given the calling if there wasn't someone on the other end to receive it. So never doubt the power of the calling that you have to write this book, and pursue it, because there will be times where you're so deep into it and you're like, I don't know if I can do this. This is never going to happen for me. You just feel like you're coming up against a brick wall. In those moments when you're able to then connect with, okay, like, this is part of my calling. And I know there's people out there, because I wouldn't have been given this calling if there weren't people who needed to receive it. So if you can keep that in mind, it will help you keep going through the tough spots. And again, Veronica might be able to speak to going through some of the tough spots. She had quite a journey in writing her book, but she felt that calling. She heeded the calling. And there have been people now who are reading her book like, oh my gosh, like, just profound transformation for them in the process. So don't ignore it. Don't let yourself believe the lies that it's so easy for us to tell ourselves while we're writing books, like, who's going to read it? Nobody, that's already been written by somebody else. That's all BS. The truth is, if you've got a book in your heart and soul that you know you need to write, then you must write it, because someone needs to read it.
Made this up. I just wrote this 2 minutes ago for Viki. I was feeling so bad, and I asked Miss Viki just what I had. I said, Viki, it's for sure. I got a book, and you got the cure. And she said, yeah, it seems all we really need is good loving. And you're supposed to say, come on, give me good loving, come on, give me good loving. Yeah, thank you.
And I should show you a picture of this fantastic book that my colleagues wrote.
Wonderful, fabulous.
Yes, and I also have another trophy for you, which is the very fabulous EIPPY certificate that we all got.
Wonderful, framed and everything. I love it. I love it.
So this is my book. It felt really good when it all came together. So it's Anxious Fighter. It's a really good short read. It gets to the point, and my message of what I want readers to know, and what I want to share with the world. So this is my book.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And I also wanted to mention that every year we have a wonderful award called the Mindful Award for people that do amazing things out in the world, in their communities. And definitely this year you are our recipient as a result of all, again, the wonderful things you're doing for awareness about mental health and really helping people to achieve that for themselves. It's never been more important than right now because more people than ever are afflicted because of the isolation we've been experiencing. So I know we sent that award to you ahead of time. So if you have that, hold it up so we can all celebrate with you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I love my award. It's beautiful. And it's nice to be recognized for the work that I try to do for the world and other people.
Well, I am so excited because we had a participant and the most wonderful, lovely person and author who joined us for the EIPPY Awards in 2020 in Manzanillo, Mexico. And she was the first to sign up. So we have a lovely gift that we're going to be sending her to say, thank you for signing up first. And her name is Dr. Jean Farish. And Jean, welcome.
Thank you, Vicki. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And I am just delighted to be with you today and to be gifted this opportunity to really speak from my heart. So thank you so much.
The idea is no matter what happens to you, just say, oh, what's the good that's in this for me? Where's the seed of equal or greater benefit? What if this is for me? How can I take advantage of this? There may be qualities I need to develop, like strength and perseverance and patience and love and kindness and generosity, humility, whatever it might be. And that's really what the gift is. So basically, I never look at anything negative now or anything that happens as negative, but always look at it as, okay, what's the opportunity that this is? And then I look for it, and because I'm looking for it, I find it.
Hi, everyone. We're all back. I hope you enjoyed that little piece. It's just a little token of what you're going to be receiving next Friday. I'm really, really thrilled. Listen, I wanted, our last gift that we're going to give away today is really special. And I wanted to have Laura speak a little bit because she was in a beautiful anthology that a number of you were in, including Jean Farish, and it was called Be Love. And it was a result of our last EIPPY Awards last year. And it's an anthology. And we're doing another anthology right now with Laura, all about yoga with a bunch of yoga masters, because Laura is just like so unbelievably famous. And so it's such a spiritual drive in that area of yoga. So Laura, I thought maybe you could just give us a short piece of information about why you think anthologies are so powerful. And then we'll get into our last gift.
Thank you, Vicki. It was really an honor to be in this book that Jean and you pulled together, Be Love, out of our 2020 EIPPY Awards. I was really honored to be in that book. And yeah, I was so touched by the experience of being in an anthology. I was in an anthology myself the year before I published my first book with you, Moon Salutations, Women's Journey Through Yoga to Healing, Power, and Peace. And I found that being in an anthology for me gave me a step up. It gave me the experience, the confidence of actually finishing a chapter, getting it edited, sharing it with pre-readers, and then doing the marketing for that book. And then a year later, when I published the Moon Salutations book, I had that experience and it was less overwhelming. So I was inspired to take 18 of my clients who are yoga teachers and also healers, Viki, not just yoga teachers. Some of them are Reiki masters, therapeutic touch. I have an astrologer, different kinds of spiritual counselors, but probably at least half are from yoga. And it's all about divine feminine empowerment and becoming a divine feminine healer. In fact, I've just been talking with the authors about their chapters, and I'm so enthusiastic for this book that's going to come out in June, Awakening the Divine Feminine, 18 Stories to Heal, Inspire, and Uplift. And it's really cool. So I love anthologies, and thank you for making it possible so that I can bring together the group of authors.
Laura and I have talked about the fact that it's really a fabulous thing to be able to do an anthology, because people get so much out of an anthology. They may not get everything out of every chapter, but they manage to get something out of some of the chapters because there are so many wonderful people doing the delivery in an anthology. So that is just really terrific. And let's see, I was going to see, I don't know why I'm not going full screen, but I will just hold this up.
Viki, you are full screen.
Oh, I am full screen. Okay,
yeah.
It's not showing for me. Okay, so I wanted to show everyone this book. This book not only went bestseller last year, but it also won an ELIT Gold Award. And it's a book that I wrote around how to create anthologies, because that's what we really started doing in books in the beginning. And then we took those anthologies to bestseller, and people started coming to us and saying, please help us be bestseller as well. And so that was, it was just really an extraordinary experience, and has been over the years. But an anthology was our first dive into publishing. So what I wanted to do was, we decided, in addition to writing the book, I wanted to be able to give a turnkey ability for people to write anthologies. So we did everything from soup to nuts to get people started. And I'm going to be giving away one of the anthology packages that gets you going. And then if you would like us to go through and publish in a done for you way, the actual anthology, we can do that too. And it's really great, because it's not only cost effective, you end up with a project that creates revenue for you. And whether it's a cookbook that's 30 pages, a children's book that's 30 pages, or it's an anthology like Laura's that's going to be, well in excess of 100 pages. Some of ours have been in the excess of 300 pages, whatever size we can accommodate. But I'm going to give away the turnkey ability to do all that. It includes cover, includes all the legal agreements, and includes everything you need to get started recruiting your people. And then we'll even help you out for only $39 a page, which you can charge double or triple that from the people that you bring into your anthology. So it's a really, really wonderful gift. And we thought it would be a great way to help people create more revenue in their businesses during the pandemic. So that's what really, really drove us to start it. So Pam, would you like to draw a winner for our last drawing?
While I'm doing that, can you hold the book up again, please? More in the middle of the screen, because people
okay.
People could not get the name of it, and they were wondering what it was.
There you go.
There you go.
I'm sorry, I didn't mention it. Your anthology book blueprint.
Drum roll, please. Here's the winner.
Here it is, Peter Martin. And Peter, I believe, is here.
Come on down.
There he is. Can you unmute him? I just want to say hi and congratulations.
I am doing it right now. Peter, you're live to the world.
Hi, Peter. Congratulations. Okay, great. And we're just starting with relaunching one of Peter's children's books. So we're very excited about it. Congratulations. And we'll be in touch with all the information.
All right.
This could be a great project for the Teddy Bear Cancer Foundation, which I know that you're very, very fond of. So yeah, fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, so I think that's it for today. Unless anyone has any questions, we're happy to answer them. But basically, the EIPPY Awards will be next Friday at 9 o'clock Pacific, at 12 o'clock Eastern. And people will be there from all over the world. And you got just a really short taste. We'll probably be doing about 6-7 hours, and it's just going to be fantastic, loaded with a lot of talent and loaded with so much information, because it's not just information from the guest speakers, some of which you saw on the video, but also from each one of the award winners. They shared so much great information because they're all so talented. So you'll be benefiting from that, as well as, again, $20,000 worth of drawings. And you know, if you would sign up at mybookaward.com, if you haven't already, you'll be getting all the information and all the special things that are going to be happening pre-event next week. So we will be looking forward to seeing you there, and we wanted to thank you so much for coming today. And have a wonderful week. Look for emails and things that are coming your way, and we look forward to Friday.
Excellent, Vicki. And I wanted to close out by having everyone just say one word that comes from your heart. I can unmute everyone's line here who wants to say a word. It just kind of brings the community together. We have a lot of people here, and I'm just going to unmute everybody.
I love that.
Okay, so everybody now can unmute and just say one word in closing.
Excited.
Inspired.
Excited.
Grateful.
Love.
Thank
Excited.
you.
Love.
That's beautiful. Now we get to see everyone's faces, because you've all been sitting here quietly listening and watching. And I want you to feel like you're all part of a community and a family.
Hi from Trinidad.
All right, now we have to have those virtual vodka martinis coming out. Or mimosas, probably mimosas. It's kind of a weekend, you know, we need a mimosa.
Okay, everyone, we will see you on Friday.
All right.
Thank you so much. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye.
All right. So if you're watching this replay, thank you for watching us tonight, and click the button below and register and receive your VIP tickets for the EIPPY Awards. It's going to be this Friday, and you want to be here live in the Zoom with all of us. This is a preview event, and we will see you at the next one. Bye now.